Good morning, people. Good morning. Hopefully, everyone is doing well. Excuse me. This is the host, your one and only Jermaine McCrimmon, and welcome to Humanity Unplugged podcast. And good morning to you on this Thursday morning. I just want to say thank you to everyone. This is Podcast Thursday, and today we're going to be talking about a couple of things, but the biggest thing we're going to be talking about to date is what's going on in Virginia. We'd like to thank everyone for their support on our social platforms. Everyone that's just giving us a lot of love. We thank you guys for that because without that, we wouldn't be here. It makes you, it gives you a lot of joy and gives you inspiration to see all the love and the people reaching out to you and telling you to push forward and keep going because they enjoy the content. And for those of you that are entrepreneurs and doing things on your own, and it's not easy. It is a struggle with everyday life to push forward and keep your eyes on what matters to you. And the reason why we're talking about this topic today is because this what matters to me. Where are the children going in Virginia? Episode 61. Recently, when you look into social media platforms and all over the world, we have a continuing issue. And we know about sex offenders. We know how children are becoming missing or children are not returning home from walks, school, church, to the store. Things are just happening. And I would suggest to you in your mental capacity that these things do not just happen to just children. I think this happened to a lot of people, adults, all nationalities go through this. In episode, I believe, 58, we talked about missing people. But to now we have in episode 60, we have looked a little deeper into the actual state of Virginia. I mentioned Virginia because Virginia is getting a lot of heat, getting a lot of attention. The state troopers who manage and police the state surroundings and connected to Virginia on the highways and byways, the state troopers are saying this is not accurate. There's other factors on why children are coming up missing, or the statistics are high about children being missing in the state of Virginia. Now, I'm just somewhat, you can call me a reporter, you can call me whatever you want to call me, it doesn't bother me. But I am a person that like to look at statistics, I look at factors, I look at a lot of different things before I come to my own conclusion on the matter. And for all of my listeners who rather listen to me talk about politics, I haven't left you, I'm still here. For those who like me to talk about other countries' issues, I'm still here. If you want me to talk about other things, please just leave it in our email at info@humanityunplugged.co.site, and I will get to you as soon as I can about addressing different things you might want me to talk about. But I sit here today and I'm talking to you this morning on Thursday, August 14th, about where are the children going? What's happening to the children in the state of Virginia? Well, as we look deeper into this, we have to look at protective services. Protective services have taken a big chunk of the children. Adoption agencies and people and agencies that are there to protect the children, they are snatching these children up and taking them from the homes because they may see it's unfit. So a large percentage of children are lost in protective services. Now that happens. It happens in all states, though, not just Virginia. So what makes Virginia stand out? Well, let's look at accidental deaths. there's a huge percentage of people or children dying from accidental death by handguns, accidents in cars, drownings at the beaches and lakes and ponds. Kids do have a high percentage of deaths that occur through accidents, you know, around the house. Some go to sleep and don't wake up. It's very low statistic of that, but it does happen quite often that children do pass away early by accidental deaths. These things does occur. Now, I also want you to factor in when you look at why are children missing uh, human trafficking, children human trafficking, children pornography, children sex trades, and things of such. This is live in United States. It happens at a high volume. It does happen quite often, and as an adult, you might not see it because it's not in the newspaper every day, front page, or it's not on ESPN, dun 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 dun, or you might not see it on Eyewitness News, Channel 7 often. But if you go to global news, being, I believe, CNN or BCC, or I think it's called BBW, BNC, and things of such, or just look at your global news in its entirety, you will see a lot of different news that can get you up to speed on what's going on in your world if you're just sleeping through it. And things happen along with different little advertisings on TV or commercials on TV. Children are suffering all over the world for different reasons. We don't know exactly what can be the total cause of the high statistic rate of children missing at this point in the state of Virginia. But all these issues factor in on what could be happening to our children. The sex trafficking is huge. This happens all the time. And as we look into it and we find out different issues, we have to have our own understanding of children that are just running away. We have a huge factor that comes into play when it comes to children just running away from home. They don't want to be home. They want to be at other places. They want to go live their life at a very, very early age because of the children influencers that are out here as well. Um, Social media doesn't make it easy for kids. It's pure pressure on children to do things unlike normal kids would do back in the day. See, back in the day in 88, 89, social media wasn't, as they would say, lit like it is now, where children have other things to look into or do, or have an influencer there telling them that they don't need to take the crap or be in a situation. They can just run away to a program like Covenant House or homeless shelters and things of such that might can assist them. Now, over time, laws has changed and passed where children are protected, but also by law, if you have a somewhat of a home, you cannot just run away from your home because you and your mom have an argument or you and your father have a disagreement. You can't just walk away and run away and go to hop in a car and say, "I'll see you when I see you," because that's what's happening now. Excuse me. I also want to mention that the economy plays effect on your children. Everybody wants nice clothes, a nice place to live, a nice car. They want to have the hottest new cell phone. They want to keep a fresh haircut. Girls want their nails done. They want their toes done. They want their attention that they're seeking now are reaching levels that we never seen before. And that causes pressure on children and adults to do things they never did before to keep the children happy and in home, in the house. So all of these different issues or all these different distractions cause children to have different reasons why they feel like they don't need to be at home with their parent. And maybe life, life itself is a influence on a child or a young man being home. Excuse me. If the mother and father are always working and they're not available at home to nurture that child, or when that child goes to bed, the mother and father are just getting home, they're tired, the attention that that child may seek or need is not being met by the parent in the house. They could be doing the best they can, but unfortunately, it's still not enough to that child. What if that child might have a special need child? Maybe that child has different issues mentally that's going on medication and things as such, and the mother or the father is just not there adequately to assist the child. These things happen all the time, and they play a factor in when the child decides to run away and be in the streets. Pimps, people who like to harness a child or a man or a female's sexual uh, favors to bring money into the household. You'd be surprised how many women out here provide for their families by prostitution. It happens a lot. A favor for a favor. Everybody's not waking up with cover, warm, and a nice, decent place to lay their head every night. It doesn't happen. Quite often, there's not a lot. It's very few people that have it like that. And now that Trump is in office, things are turning for the worse. Now, I do tell you back in the day of 1880, 1988, 1996, maybe the early 2000s, they had other city programs like PAL, Police Academy, back in the day that used to sponsor children, and boys and girls clubs and places like that used to offer the children a safe place to go to vent, to talk to adults about the family issues that may have occurred or things that could be just bothering them. And these places were there open to have a door they can walk in and feel safe and talk to adults about family issues. And perhaps sometimes people will reach out to the parent to try to assist the parent with assisting the child. A lot of these programs are now closed or not funded no more by the government because of today's issues and things that supersede that help. Now, when you look at things like that, the government will tell you, well, what's more important? Me giving you assistance, a person being there physically to you to talk to, or is it more important for you to have your food stamps at the end of the month? Well, I tell you right now, a lot of females and single mothers will choose the food stamps over having a counselor there in their corner. So when you look at these factors all around and you look at what agencies are available to assist families that might be struggling like this is a long, long issue that has been occurring in our United States, and it hasn't been addressed. Just like the homelessness hasn't been addressed. Every state has suffered from homelessness and people, veterans suffering, not having medical resources and a place to stay. These things happen all the time, but yet no one really addresses it. Our president looked past the veterans and now he wants to take over and have make America great again. But before we can make America great again, we need to look within our America and fix some of the constant issues we're having in our communities, and along with taking care of the people who fought for such freedom, like our veterans. Over time, and as we talk about this, and as I continue to do different episodes about community issues and world issues, I would love for you guys to continue to reach out and talk to me and send me your comments on Instagram or all the social media platforms, or you can definitely email us at info@humanityunplug.co.site. We always had a Facebook page that's up, and we look for you guys to comment with us and tell us how you feel about these different issues that might come across your table or come across your desk. As you see, things doesn't change. I think we're up to iPhone 17 that's dropping now, and Apple doesn't care. Target doesn't care. Other other companies like this doesn't care about the community that support them, that keeps them rolling. If you look at statistics and look at what it costs to buy an iPhone 14, it's over $1,200. And remind you guys, I said an iPhone 14. This coming September, mark my words, they will have an iPhone 17 being commercialized in late August and early September for you guys to get the 17. And we will run out and get the newest gadget because we want to feel like we're working for a purpose because we're supporting someone that's already rich. I get it. I understand why we do what we do. I don't agree with it, but I do understand that you need to reward yourself as everyday struggles overwhelm you and make you feel like you're in a corner fighting for your life. I ask you guys to please be patient, have understanding with your situation, and it will get better. Keep pushing through, it will get better. But as we continue on our topic on why or what contributes to the children missing, Virginia is a Commonwealth state. They make big money, it's heavy electronics, it is heavy, heavy technology state. For those who don't know, they have a lot of other things to worry about than what are the children doing after 5. So this is why they have a heavy drug game in Virginia, Washington, Baltimore, Maryland. It is heavy out there. There's a lot of money out there. And kids are saying they can stand on a corner in these small suburb areas and make some money. In these cul-de-sacs, they can do other things other than sit home and do homework because mom and dad don't come home till late. So they testing, they're doing drugs more, they're having friends over more. And half the time, as long as you answer the phone when your mom calls or your father calls, how active are parents now in 2025? When the cost of living has went up tremendously, gas is up, electric is up, food is up, eggs cost you what they used to cost you. Now they went down a little bit, but the economy is still suffering and parents got to still provide. So how focused are the parents on the children? As long as they in or you can look at them, you really don't go too deep as that. As long as you speak to them, hey, how you doing? I'm all right. All right, good. It's over. It's a wrap. You ask your daughter, how's your day? I'm fine. Okay, good. Parents have to be a little more intricate and get deeper involved with their children to maintain that open connection so they can talk to you about what's really going on. You have to pass the surface when you're talking to a child. You can't just be surface with a child. You have to ask them deeper questions. You have to look into their phone. I'm sorry, if they don't pay the phone bill, what we doing? If you're providing a protection over them as a room, food, and clothes over their bodies and making sure they're safe, then you are entitled to look through their phone and ask them what's going on. As a parent, you are entitled to ask your child, who are you sexually active with? If you're sexually active, ask your child, are you using protection? You need to talk to your child, are you smoking weed? Are you doing any drugs? What you doing? Drug test them. I don't care if you offend them. I'd rather you offend them while they're living to put them in a casket and you can't offend them no more. Or they come up missing, there's no one to talk to no more. So offend them, show them you care now, show them that they matter now while they're in your presence. And if you offend them, apologize because they have feelings, but talk to them and explain to them why you're doing what you're doing. See, one of the biggest issues I had as a child at a young age, my dad used to tell me to do things and I didn't know why. So I will give this jewel to a lot of men that have boys. Boys will listen to their father majority of the time if the father's there. Sometimes they don't understand why the parent's not there. So you need to talk and tell the child what's going on. And I know as a father, you feel like, why am I explaining this to a child? Because they're what they see out their lenses of their eyes is not what you see out the lenses of yours. The focus is different. You're looking at 2020, they looking at 1010, 1015. They don't really understand what you're doing to make sure they laying in the bed rolling over and they got eggs and bacon and sausage and biscuits to eat when they wake up, or the milk and the cornflakes they like. They don't really understand that you providing the Aunt your mama pancake mix for them. They don't really understand that. They just want to see a body there. And as much as you want to put a body there in the seat so they can visualize this, your job is very demanding. And your job is so demanding because sometimes we didn't listen to our parents and finish our education so we have a better skill set to provide for our families when we decide to have a family. See, everything works together for those who have the deeper understanding. The reason why it's so important for us as when we were children to have a great job, to get a great education, whether it's a trade or go to college and land a decent job. And when I mean decent, I mean a job where you don't have to work the weekend. Because in the fantasy world that you don't live in, but other people presume this fantasy, they're off on the weekends. A lot of nine to fivers are off because they make enough money Monday through Friday to support their family. And they're able to be there on the weekend to have excursions, to have mommy and daddy day, or to go here and do that and do this and do this. Or the ones who don't work overnight while your child is sleeping, you're at work. The skill set, how you prepare for your life when you are a child at 13, 14, 15, and when you go to 11th grade and graduate, whether you go to college or the service, also prepares you to present a decent lifestyle for your son or your daughter to come. And we don't see that when we're at that age. But the honest opinion, my honest being totally transparent with you is that matters. If you don't know it, I'm telling you now, the the work you put in now builds the foundation for you to be around for your children when they're born and seeking your attention. You're able to be there for them because you put the work in at a young age where you're available, you're established, you have the money, and you have the right income coming in so you could be available for your child. But you have to make those decisions when the child is not even born. It is so crucial for you to make the right decisions when you're in the 11th and 12th grade and moving on out of high school. And that will determine how you provide for your child when your child comes when you're 24, 25, or younger, if you decide to have children at a young age. All this plays a factor. So I just want to let you guys understand when we get back to the topic of why are the children missing, what's going on in Virginia. Your economy plays a factor. Your community plays a factor. The parents' job and how they provide for the children does play a factor. What you teach your child when they're little is what they carry on with them when they're grown. So whatever seeds you plant in your child when they're young, they will grow to become that eventually, somewhat around that area. As the old saying, the fruit don't fall far from the tree. So in closing, guys, I want us to try to continue to provide for our children, to be there for our children, but let's talk to them more. Let's get on their nerves a little bit more. Let's watch what they're wearing, watch what they're doing on social media. Let's watch what they're eating. Let's watch what they're taking or consuming in their bodies after 3 o'clock in the afternoon when they're coming home. Let's look out for the sugar intake because that brings on diabetes, obesity, and all that brings on further problems down the line as they get older. I hope this episode has come in and hit you and been a blessing, and hopefully it opens your eyes to different things that's going on why things are happening in Virginia. And in closing, I'll leave you with this: your state could be next. Where you live, your country could be next. A child could be missing right next door from where you live. So please keep your eyes open. God bless. I'll see you on Tuesday. Peace.